What's up, y'all? This is your boy Eddie Jax. Welcome back to the Drop That Podcast. Alright, so we out the country. We had to just take a moment to catch up on certain things, and it's going to be hip hop talk. So before we get into that, let's give a shout out to our sponsor, Layback TV. Over 10,000 channels, movies on demand, every sports channel, multiple languages, every HBO, every Cinemax. It's the best way to stream now. Pay-per-views, if you want boxing, UFC, pro wrestling, you name it. It's only $25 a month, okay? Check them out. They're better than Xfinity, better than Spectrum. They Hulk smash all the fucking competition, okay? And you can go to laybacktv.com. Check them out, okay? LAYBACK TV.com. Now let's get to some hip-hop talk, okay? Whoa! It's hip-hop talk, guys. And we have to be honest about it. Okay, so we got to watch the Big Sean interview with Charlamagne Tha God. Shout out to Big Sean and Charlamagne Tha God. It was, I believe, the title of the interview was called Out of Context. Now, this is the aftermath after, we're dealing with Kendrick versus Drake. Okay, so we have a possible potential next up. Now, everybody will say, Drake's done, this, and that. As long as he's making his pop singles, singing singles, stuff like that, Drake ain't going nowhere, okay? Now, as far as hip-hop, it gets questioned. You know what I mean? He didn't win against Kendrick. I don't think this is the end of Drake, but Drake can't be coming up in there saying that he's better than everyone, whatever the fuck the case is, right? But, with that being said, Big Sean is now finally coming back after a huge hiatus. His last albums were killers, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? We talking the last one, which was Detroit Part 2. The one before that, I Decided. The one before that, was it Dark Sky Paradise? He's gave you the singles Blessings. Kendrick and him collaborated on the track with Jay Electronica called Control. He's collaborated multiple times with the likes of Eminem, Royce the 5'9". He's on the new Eminem album, The Death of Slim Shady, on the track Toby, with I think his name is Babytron or something like that. To me, as far as like albums go, I didn't think he could do better than I Decided. He fucking demolished it. Detroit 2 is pretty much my favorite Big Sean album, and his last album on Good Music, Kanye West's old label. And turned out he was owed like $6 million from Good Music. He was very, very underpaid, which very fucked up, because the albums I named, which was Dark Sky Paradise, I Decided, and Detroit 2, were all #1 albums on Good Music Def Jam. And we remember seeing Kanye on Drink Champs saying the worst thing he ever did in life was sign Big Sean. Big Sean responded to that shit, going on Drink Champs and responded to it. He didn't take Kanye serious. Now, with all that context, right? Also, here's some context. Back in 2017, when Kendrick Lamar dropped the single, what was it? Element. I mean, I don't think it was a single, but it was a joint from the Damn album. His 2017 album, Damn, was probably labeled as one of his prime top albums of all time. Apparently there was an original version to it, and it got leaked, where he was dissing Big Sean by name, saying that your girl's more famous. I can't pronounce her name. She was a singer, Chike Koe. I can't even say her name, but she did a group album, 8820, I believe it's called, with Big Sean. Don't quote me. It's been a while. I mean, this is the reason why I can't really remember certain things about it, because of the simple fact, people say about the big three, Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole. But according to Big Sean, it's not a big three. It's a Fantastic Four, which puts him in there in their class. Now, J. Cole, when it came down to this battle with Drake and Kendrick, he tapped out. He didn't want no part of it. After he dissed Kendrick, 7-minute drill. So, is J. Cole still in that big three? I don't think so. You bowed out. So then there was a top two. Drake was up there, and and this battle kind of solidified where Kendrick and Drake are. I can't say in the rap game it's Drake number one anymore. It's yet to be determined. But Big Sean wants to get in the conversation. My thing is, I don't have a problem with Big Sean in this conversation. My thing is that, as much as they say Kendrick is inactive, Big Sean is inactive. Like, how you supposed to have this argument? And the crazy shit is when I'm listening to this interview with Charlamagne Tha God and Big Sean, it's like he wants all the smoke, but he ain't challenging for the smoke. And how are you supposed to be in that Fantastic Four, top three, or whatever you want to call it, if you don't compete? Now, he did a couple of freestyles where some people say he was talking about Kanye. Some people even say that he was talking about Kendrick. And my thing is that, when they ask him, when Charlamagne asks him, who are you talking about? Were you talking about Kanye? Were you talking about Kendrick? Oh, he's just talking about anyone in general. Then he's referring to the fast rappers. Now, when I hear that line about he's not talking about, he's not talking about specific people. He's talking about the people who want to rap fast. Some people say, are you talking about Eminem? You're both from Detroit. You just got on his album. He was in one of your past albums. He added you on the Detroit versus Everybody track with Royce 5'9" and everyone else from Detroit. I don't think he wants any smoke with Eminem. Is he talking about Eminem? I don't think so. You're too cool with Eminem. Big Sean, Eminem gives you your flowers in order to be talking about him. No, I don't think so. Is he talking about Kendrick? Every time they ask him straight up, are you talking about Kendrick? He kind of backpedals. So is he talking about Kendrick? According to him, he's not. He's not giving a yes or a no. So we got to make our own assumption and say, no, you're not, because you ain't said his name. When you hear these disses that Drake diss Kendrick, you hear Kendrick's name. When you hear Not Like Us by, Kendrick and Meet the Grams and all of that, Kendrick's calling Drake out by name. So it's a little bit interesting how, you want all this smoke, but you're not really saying anything. So my thing is Big Sean talking about Kendrick or Eminem? No. When I listened to it, I thought of a different artist. I thought he was talking about Joyner Lucas. Joyner Lucas, he gives you that slow flow, that mid flow, that fast flow. And he wants all the smoke. Anybody who wants to challenge, if you want to give Joyner Lucas one of a top tier MC, he's a top tier MC. He doesn't even put himself in that conversation with Drake, Kendrick, Cole, Sean, because he considers himself a class that came after. But he'll accept the smoke if Big Sean is challenging. But that's just my assumption. I think he was talking about Joyner. But it's like, we don't know. You won't speak. You won't say it. But all these interviews, it's like, word is Kanye leaked his new album and everything. It's like, nigga, just give us the fucking music. Stop talking shit. You went home, you've been with your girl, you had your beautiful child, healthy baby. Okay, now you're a dad, you got a new perspective, but if you come in here to compete, fucking compete. Stop talking shit, but you're not mentioning who you're talking about. You're giving everybody half-truths and want to fucking, figure out the maze and the fucking crossword puzzle on who you're talking about. Okay. But when they ask you straight up after you put out the music, you don't say shit. So until then, you're not in no Fantastic Four. You're not even in the big three. If you want to be a fucking number one contender to the crown, to Kendrick, after him winning against Drake, send out the challenge. Don't do no more interviews. Just do it in the music. But it's your boy Eddie Jax. We're out of here on Hip Hop Talk. Check us out on youtube.com/@dropthatpodcast. All right, we out this bitch. All right, y'all, peace. Be safe. One.